What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today, and welcome to Rio Fortuna. This is a track created by Kevin Fuela, and it is a track based in Brazil, and is the facility of a super mini rider by the name of Lorenzo Ricken. Apparently, very fast super mini rider. So we'll see what comes of that in the future. Maybe he'll make his way over into the big leagues, whether it's in Europe or the US. We shall see. So this is his like compound slash facility. However, the Nationals track around here is also used, or was used, I'm not sure if it still is, for some of the Brazilian national rounds, which is basically the equivalent of the AMA over in Brazil. So we've got 3 tracks here in total. We've got the MX track, which kind of goes from one side of the facility all the way to the other. We have then got a Supercross track on the right, and we've got a Supercross track over on the left as well. Now, I've been keeping up to date with all the work in progress pictures that Kevin has been updating on these. Like, everything you see here is all custom made from scratch. He's like built all these models. The amount of times I saw him taking pictures of like real world data and trying to get this like terraced effect on the hill is like insane. Like, I know how much time and effort has gone into this. So I'm very excited to give it a go. I'm mixing things up today. We are not riding the Husky. I am riding this bad boy right here. I'm going to ride the Gasser because apparently it feels pretty good outdoors. Now, I do not have an outdoor setup up on it just yet. I'm waiting for Mr. Ruspa to slide in my DMs and send me one over because he says he's found one that's really nice. So for now, I'm just rocking Supercross suspension. So if you see me kicking about and any of the rough stuff, then that is just why. But already looking at it, like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 5 different line choices in this one corner. This could be quite an exciting, fast-paced track. So without further ado, let's get into it.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
I would like to declare, or at least I would like to make excuses before I start riding. I got a little boo-boo. Apparently, cutting bagels is incredibly dangerous when you don't use sharp knives too often. So yeah, slice my thumb up. So unfortunately, the riding might not be up to scratch. It is the thumb that basically sits on the steering. If it was like rider leaning, I don't think it'd be too bad, but it's kind of always in contact, and it's a little bit on the painful side. You know how like sometimes all of the tiniest cuts are the ones that end up being the most painful? It's one of those bad boys. So we'll see how it goes. And annoyingly, obviously tonight, at the time of me recording this, is the last round of Supercross, so it couldn't have happened at a worse time. But we'll try and soldier on through it. I'm sure if people can play the game with literally broken wrists and broken hands, then I'm sure I can make do with a tiny little cut on the thumb. So, oh, hold on to it. Don't crash. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Piposo. So let's see how this all goes. The track is very bright to the point where I kind of want to turn my reshade off for this. There we go. Let's make it a little bit darker. Yeah, it's very bright, almost to the point where it's like hurting my old man eyes. Up and round here. Get on the power, round to the left. Now, if this is a typical Mr. Fuela track, then I imagine this will be very fast-paced. His tracks always have a nice flowy feel to them. The ruts, then he never has like too much roughness in his track. The ruts are built in a way where you can really get the bike cranked over and ride through them incredibly fast. Now, that's a user error. That's nothing to do with the track. I need to try and learn this GasGas a little bit as well, because after, I guess, I wouldn't even say like weeks of testing at this point, but weeks of on and off playing the game on the Husky and dabbling maybe 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here of trying to test the bike in outdoors. I feel I've got to the point now where everything that I could do and could have tried with the suspension on the Husky I have, and I'm just not comfortable on it outdoors. It's just a little bit on the stiff side, which I have the same feeling on the KTM as well, which is why I'm intrigued to try this quote-unquote very nice GasGas setup when it gets sent over to me, because it's still an Austrian bike, and I feel like all of the Austrian bikes tend to have the same sort of qualities as each other. So I'm interested. I'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm up for anything at this point. Apparently, one thing that I had no idea is I saw someone put together a list of the weights of all the different bikes, and in the 450 class, I think the second lightest bike, I think the TM's the lightest, the second lightest bike is the Honda. But when I try the Honda, it always feels like an absolute tank of a bike for me. I struggle to get it turned. So it's weird how these different values affect the bikes in different ways. And unless there was a mistake made in the spreadsheet that I saw, apparently the TM 450 is lighter than the TM 250. Doesn't make much sense. Maybe that's a typo, but I saw. I've not gone and tested that myself. Like, I could quite easily just go into the game, load up a TM 250 and a TM 450, click the info tab in the garage, and it would show me all the weights. But lazy Lynn strikes again. So far, exactly what I thought from a Kevin track. The track is very, very fast. Let's try and scrub this to the inside. Oh, I just went a little bit too far. I imagine that maybe that middle rut there is probably so much faster than the inside. It seems at the moment that the inside and middle ruts are still quite comparable to the outsides. So I don't think it's going to be an outside line only track. Big old triple in the middle there that Kevin mentions in the description list that some of the real life pros struggle to get up and over. So I'm guessing Mr. Lorenzo on his Super Mini, if he can get over that, then fair play. Round of applause to that man right there. But for 450 over that, it's not too bad. Just don't want to shut off too much. Give it a little bit of steez in the air, but very, very quick. I'm going to step down. Can I stop for the inside this time? Barely. Trying to get on the brakes, not too hard to where we're locking up, but just enough. Step down, step again. We've got to scrub this over to the right. It's nice and flowy. Like, it flows really well. And just with the size and the jumps so far and how the ruts are built, it's not kind of leaving me wondering where on earth I need to go or how much I need to check up or stretch jumps. Everything feels like it ties together really, really nicely and it just flows well. It's not a difficult track by any means. Fairly straightforward. Some jumps that you can get a bit sideways on. Obviously, you need to be a little bit more, I guess, precise and technical with. Sand section right here, it is actually sand. I'm not sure how well you can tell from the noise of the tyres. I'm not sure how well it translates over to YouTube. But that is pure sand right there. But it's not like a super, super high-speed section where you then need to get the bike cranked over really far. So from a traction perspective, it doesn't seem to be causing me any issues at all. Some nice little rollers through here. Stand up on the pegs. You can keep the front wheel nice and light. Keep the back end tracking. Can we make this inside this time? Oh, there we go. That's... Oh, coming in way too quick. I was about to say that was much quicker than the outside, but I got such a good slingshot onto the straight. I forgot where I was. Didn't brake in time. So lap times, what are we looking like? About a 140-ish, I think. The fast boys will be getting up sub 140 around here, 100%. But for me right now, 140, that's not too long of a lap. Very unique section there, jumping back across the start. You need to make sure that you line those two left-handers up correctly, otherwise you'll end up riding and mounting the wall like I did there. And last lap I had a really bad go on that second left, so you can see up in the top left-hand corner of my screen, time-wise, I'm already a second up on last lap's time. So yeah, 100% want to be looking at the sub 140s. It's just nice and casual. My first time up on the game today, I haven't had any warm-up laps at all, but I feel very competent right now. I feel like I'm riding okay. I don't mind the sound of the GasGas. I will say that there's a few of the 450s that their default sounds I really don't enjoy. Quite often I will switch sounds out. One of my favourite sounds is I don't know where it originates from, but I just called it it was the E10 Suzuki 450 sound, whatever sounds they had on there. I usually copy and paste that over to my 450s. I'm a very audio-based player, if that makes sense. I like to listen to what the bike's doing. So if I have like loud music in my ears, or if I just can't hear the engine very well at all, I play a lot worse than if I can just hear everything the engine's doing. It's kind of, I know when to change gear. Obviously, you know when you're bogging, when you're in the right gear at any point, and I just prefer it. Much easier for me. But the GasGas doesn't sound too bad. The rev range feels pretty good, like sound-wise. I kind of work out what the bike's doing at any given point of the rev range, wherever I need to change up, if I need to shift down. Feels absolutely fine. So yeah, big fan so far, and the cockpit view of it as well does not look too bad. I'm guessing I've got a model swap on since I've got handguards. I don't think any of the OEM bikes come as standard with handguards, so I must have got it from when they released. Oh my god, when they released all of them in the MX Bikes Discord. So if you was unaware, if you're looking for handguards on any bike in particular, either in my Discord or the main MX Bikes Discord, I think it's in news. I want to say it's in the news channel. Then all of the OEM like model swaps, the supporter swaps, were all put in there for free after all the hacking went on. So yeah, you can go and download them all, and that'll be a nice little addition to your bikes. Oh my goodness. Let's work our way over. Jump up and over that. Oh, that is extremely reflective water, I've noticed there. Maybe too reflective, who knows? Now, what way do we hit these rhythms? I'm sure we'll find out as soon as we hit this table. I'm going backwards. Very easy way to tell, actually. Obviously, you could just load up the track themselves. So all three of these tracks on this facility, so Motocross, Supercross 1, Supercross 2, they've all got their own set of timing. So you can go back into the main menu, load up testing again, select the individual tracks, and kind of work out what sort of lap times you're rocking with. But you know me, I just like keeping it in one lobby. I'm not too fussed about lap times these days. It's just nice to give you a rough gauge to see what we're rocking with. If this is anything like, what's it called? Marinos, so Kevin's latest track, which was a free track in MXB mods, he remastered an old track of his called Marinos, and it had a Supercross track attached to it. If it's anything like that track scaling-wise, I think we're going to have quite a bit of fun around here. So I really, really do... Scrub that bad boy. I really do enjoy the more like peaky jumps, so they send you much higher. Is that... I'm going the right way. Okay, and I did. Let me have a read real quick of the shop post, because I do think he mentioned something about the various tracks. Okie dokie, knowledge has been gained. I am a tiny bit smarter than I was a while ago. So these tracks are not actually there on the actual facility. It is just the outdoors tracks by the look of it. So the Supercross tracks are based on the AMA rounds of this year. So one of them, let's go over this, which I think is this one, is round 11, which I think was it called Seattle? Was it Seattle? I know exactly which one this is. Like riding it, I can feel which track it is. They had like a massive wall at the end of this swoop section in the real version. I'm guessing this track is based off the track map. And then the other track, which we'll go to in a sec, is actually the last round, so Salt Lake City. So we'll be able to try both of these out. And yeah, if we slow down, it was like a little double to the inside here on the aerial version, jump across the start straight, and then we was like quadding all the way up and over there, which you can do here as well, triple. There was like a little sandy section where Jet got into the back of Cooper Webb, and then you hit like the wall jump. And then on the aerial version, we was sending this bad boy in and like stepping over and then going quad. Oh my god, almost 5 that, and then quadding all the way out. So I do like seeing different people's iterations of the same track. I always find it interesting to see just how they ride. I'd love to be able to... I wonder if you can quad in. The mine's working, the mine's going a little bit. Just because I don't like singling into corners on this game. I always feel like it upsets the bike quite a lot. You lose a lot of momentum. So if there's any way I can do a rhythm section and end up downsiding into the corner rather than singling, I always prefer it. So we go quad in and then go triple, much better. And then because I've landed here rather than singling into the corner, I can carry a lot more speed around the turn, gives me more speed through the whoops, and then gives me more speed through the next corner, etc, etc. And it just all snowballs. Yeah. Tarsener, looking over at my mechanic there. Let's go over to the last of the tracks over this way. Go back across where you spawn inside this little warehouse with all the individual mats right there. That is... Okay, that's the wall jump. So he's not got like a wall... not wall, sorry, it's the over-under. So it's not like got the over-under model. He's just put a big old mound of dirt there. But let's have a little go. So this actually is not bad at all. So I played Steezy's version of Salt Lake City. I'm now playing Kevin's version of Salt Lake City, and later tonight, after obviously yesterday, whenever you're watching this, I'll be playing the aerial version of Salt Lake City. So we're playing 3 different ways, and hopefully this doesn't mess up any of muscle memory in any way at all. There are yeet, up and over. I did just get finished actually watching the preview video that Stone Rider does for each of the rounds, and looking at his track, it doesn't look like too difficult by any means. Oh, where do I go here? Is it back across the... yeah, I think it's back down here and around. Oh god, I'm hoping I haven't done that wrong. That would be very embarrassing if I have. It's fine, we'll find it out. I'm trying to think, like, I generally can't remember what I swear it was like a day ago that I played the other version of this. I don't think I missed anything out. We'll see. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, sorry, I just watched it, and the track doesn't look too difficult by any means. It looks fairly fast. A lot less rough than some of the previous rounds. I know we've had some really, really rough ones, and then some that have been less so. And this, the final round that he's made looks quite similar to like the first few rounds of the season, where everything was a bit more mellow. It had some ruts in there, but nothing too cray-cray. And so we go round to the right here. No, we don't. I'm being an absolute goober. What's wrong with me? Okay, I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. People are probably screaming at their screen right now. Let's go up and over this one. So I have done the entirety of the track. I know where I'm going now. But it's hard sometimes when it's not all marked out for you. You know, old people like me, you know, brains, they're getting worse and worse as you get older. Can't recognise things as good as you used to back in the day. Oh, here's a random subject for you whilst we're trying to get a good lap going around here. Who was I talking to? Oh, I had a lesson yesterday with one of my lovely subscribers. It was a very nice lesson. I really enjoyed it. Just talking very casually to each other. And he was slightly on the older side as well. He's 29, I'm 28 at this point. So I suppose in the grand scheme of things, in terms of community, we're on the older end. I know there's people that are a lot older than that watch me, which I found out after like my first video after moving, where they're saying like, oh, you never really feel like an adult, you just wing it, like I'm so and so years old, etc. And we were just talking about kind of like being in our prime in gaming, and I referenced it to where I can't go 100 miles an hour for an entire outdoors motor anymore, like some of the faster boys in this game can do. I referenced it to like in original Modern Warfare 2, so not the recent one for you young folk, but the old one way back. I remember when I was like in my prime back then, I'd play the game on like max sensitivity, like controller, not keyboard and mouse, and it'd be like 10 sensitivity back then, and I would still be really accurate with it. Yet nowadays, I have to run about 4 sensitivity, because if I run super high, I just can't hit a bullet on people. The aim's all over the place, so I need to slow things down a lot for myself these days, and I guess in the form of motocross and MX bikes related stuff, that just means I focus more on race pace rather than qualifying. Qualifying is very important. A lot of the time it gives you good gate picks. So if we take Supercross, for example, if you get a really good gate pick in the heat, you'll then get a good start, which then gives you a better finish position, which then gives you a better gate pick in the main. So it kind of all spirals and snowballs. But I can't really do it anymore. So a lot of the time, my race pace for Supercross only ends up being a second or two slower than my qualifying lap, but it still ends up being very comparable to the top boys who might have been quicker in qualifying, but then run 2 or 3 seconds slower than their quali lap. So that's just where I'm at this point. I'm hoping outdoors I can just really lock in and have just a nice, consistent 30 minutes of motos every time. If I get a bad start, nothing really to worry about. Just got to kind of lock in and try and get as many positions back as you can. And right now, the GasGas is feeling all right. It doesn't seem to be giving me any unwanted surprises. Like I tried the Kawasaki the other day, and every now and then it would just decide the front wanted to go on me randomly. I've had a similar feeling with the Fantic as well, where the Fantic feels like a rocket ship, but every now and then the front end will just say no. That hasn't happened at all on the GasGas yet. Probably going to jinx myself. Maybe it's because I've got a slightly stiffer suspension on for Supercross, who knows. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it out for a little bit, do a little bit of testing, because after this Supercross round, I think, what do we have, a week break to practice for outdoors, and then it's straight back into the action, something like that. So it's going to be really exciting to see. And it's going to be interesting to see if the same boys at the top can do it indoors and outdoors, or if some people shine in one discipline over the other. I've got no idea what Region Lock's going to be doing for outdoors. I would love for it to not be a thing, so I could do both, as I now have the ability to do so. That would be really great. However, I'm not in control of those sorts of things, and maybe some of you already know. I don't know if it's been written down yet what the case is going to be for the outdoor season, but if I could have my own way, I would make it so there is no region lock anymore. I would like to ride against all sets of competitors, whether they're from the EU or the US. I think that would be very epic. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you doing the outdoors season, or are you just going to be like a bit of a spectator this year? If you're kind of doing it for the first time, whether you're trying to get into pro or the AMs, I wish you the very best of luck. And it's been a good Supercross season overall. I've enjoyed it. I'm a bit sad that I missed some of the rounds, so I didn't get as good as a position as I probably could have done in the championship overall, but I don't think I would have ended up winning it anyway. Tyler, who won it a few rounds early, has been just on fire this year. Just good starts all the time, really fast race pace, getting win after win after win, so he deserves it. So a round of applause for him, and let's roll on to the outdoors with some hopefully very epic and fun tracks. So thank you for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new. All that lovely stuff for the YouTube algorithm is very much appreciated, and have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you guys are up to. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got salt to beat with my